so dynamic and
It's
responds so beautifully to your playing. Hi everyone, my name's James Ivey.
I'm Drew.
From the Studio Rats.
Yes. What the hell are you doing here? What are we doing today?
'Tis good news.
It's awesome news.
The beautiful people at neuarl DSP have just released the version 3 firmware for Quad Cortex and Nano Cortex.
And it is pretty comprehensive and it is pretty awesome.
It's huge.
It's huge.
There's a lot going on.
Should we say this might be 2 videos?
Yes, it might be. We've already recorded the second bit because that's confusing. But what we'd like to do in this video is show off a couple of our favourite bits of the update. I think it's fairly safe to say, after our little trip to America in January, that you're a bit of a fan of all things Dumble.
I love a Dumble amp. I've had a few Dumble style amps and I absolutely love them. My favourite style of amp.
Yes. And the team at neuarl have not only given us a Dumble model, but they've also done some Dumble captures, which is very exciting.
Because the new V2 capture software, or capture tech,
which we will talk about in the next video,
incorporates the Dumble captures and a load of other clever amazingness that's going on. So what we'll do first of all is I think we'll look at the Dumble amp that comes as a model inside of the Quad Cortex. Now this doesn't come with the Nano Cortex, but with the Nano Cortex you get the Dumble captures, which we'll cover in about
some minutes.
Okay, so let's have a look at the Dumble ODS. Now this is, click on that, there we go.
Pretty cool. There is a lot going on here. There is exactly the same feature set as you'd expect to find in a real hardware Dumble.
Or Dumble style amp. You know, think of like your Amplified Nations, your 2 Rocks, that sort of
red plates, that sort of stuff.
Fuchs, red plates, that sort of stuff.
Dynamic, rich, oozy, all the lovely stuff.
That is the best model of that amp that I've ever played through.
So that's the clean channel and it sounds awesome.
Awesome.
However, if I do this and go onto the drive channel, that's very tasty.
It's awesome.
However, I'm going to go back to the clean channel.
Yeah.
And when you kick in the boost on a Dumble style amp, it cuts the tone stack, which is exactly what's happening here.
So what's happened, we've bypassed the tone stack. Now I haven't actually seen the GUMF, the info for this amp, the blurb, that's another good word for it. But that seems what it's doing, and that's exactly what you'd get on a Dumble style amp, where it bypasses that tone stack.
so dynamic and
It's
responds so beautifully to your playing.
It's incredible. That is what that amp is worth the price of the Quad Cortex on its own.
Interestingly, in page 2, and I'm going to do it on here as well so you can see, we have the rock or jazz setting, so familiar to users of Dumble amps.
Yes, we've got all the switches that you normally get on a Dumble style amp. So we've got the bright switch, the mid boost, and the EQ from rock to jazz. Now you can think of this on a Dumble style amp. This isn't technically correct, but you can think of it as in your jazz setting being more like your sort of standard sort of Fender setting. So it sounds like this.
And then, of course, we have the rock setting, which is a bit more mid-forward, bit more Marshall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so think of it more like a mid-forward amp as opposed to a mid-scoop amp like a Fender. And perfect if you're using a Strat. It fills out the mids. It's absolutely awesome.
So it's not all about amplifiers, even though it clearly should be. They've also given us a whole load of new speaker cabs, which are fantastic, including these 2-rock. I see what they did there with the naming. And again, they've given us variations on position, microphone, loads of different stuff. So KM65, I see what they've gone for there. But the vintage 79 is by far my fave.
Yeah, the EV. Awesome. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover in this video, and we're not covering everything that is included with the new V3 update. Other YouTube channels probably
many of the usual suspects will be doing other elements of the update, which is quite cool.
Much better YouTube channels than us. Anyway, so we're going to cover our favourite things. Now, my other favourite thing is the new microprocessor. I'm going to let you talk about the microprocessor because you're Mr. Studio Guy.
Right. Back in the day, our friends at Eventide brought us the H series microprocessor rack unity thing, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah, it was just used over so many recordings because what the trick was to detune and delay the left and the right side. So it was a complete sort of stereo processor. And we've got that inside the Quad Cortex, and they're calling it the microprocessor. So let's turn off the reverb and delay on this.
Yeah.
And we'll quickly play without it. And with it.
So good.
So you can think of tracks like
we should do that New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It is that sound. It's not just close. It's not like, you know, someone's plonked a chorus on top. It is that sound. It's phenomenal.
It is. So just switch it off. I'm going to play and you switch it off while I'm playing, and the whole sort of sound collapses and expands.
So we'll start on.
Get it back on. Now my thing to do with this is to bring the mix back to about sort of 45–50%. Let's turn on the overdrive channel. What you could do.
Play the It's Only Love, the riff.
That's awesome.
It's so that sound, isn't it?
It's so good. It's so good. So there's that. Now, what we'll also cover, let's switch it back to the clean setting. What neuarl DSP have done with the V3 update as well is to bring in some of the V2 captures. Now, in the next video, which is going to come out a little bit later on, today or tomorrow maybe, it's going to cover how to capture using the V2 tech. But they include like a whole bunch of V2 captures. And as well as amplifiers, they've also included compressors. And I think that's the first time a capture device can actually capture compressors and fuzzes as well. So you couldn't capture fuzzes before on the Quad Cortex, now you can. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to load in a neural capture. Now, if you look here, we've got a whole bunch of V2 captures, but I'm going to click on compressor and we're going to choose the OC76 and we're going to go to comp 1. So you get all that squash. Now the OC76 is the Kali 76. You've got the 4 comp custom, which is like the Keeley 4 knob. Bogner Bloom, which is a Bogner compressor. The OC76, as I said, like the Kali 76, and a symmetrical comp. There are tons of V2 captures in the new update, so highly worth checking out all of them, including all the amps. They are absolutely incredible.
So for those of you who have a neuarl DSP Nano Cortex, sadly, you don't get the Dumble model.
We don't know why. We don't know why, but
could be power. I'm not sure.
It could be a power.
We are guessing. However, we do get the new Dumble captures, which are very lovely indeed.
And now, they're V2 captures.
Yes, they are. They're V2 captures, and as you will find out in the next video, V2 is a serious, I think, a serious step up in capture tech.
Incredible.
However, this is the Dumble capture. And for those of you who are thinking, well, the capture is fine, why would I bother with the model? Bear in mind with the capture, you don't get all of the nuances of the overdrive on and off and the different channels. You just get gain, volume, and a 3-band EQ. That's, like from a user end of things, that's the main difference.
Absolutely. So should we go through a couple of the different captures that are included with the Dumble?
.30 captures of 1 amp.
Yeah, and it's literally, it covers everything from your Dumble cleans to sort of quite high gain.
Yeah.
High gain tones. I think it's awesome. So this video is already quite long. We've already shot the second video. So if you want to check that out, which is the actual capturing of an amplifier, we've captured the TWS single 6 amp. You can see that in the next video. That'll be out. If it's not already out, it'll be out in a few hours or so.
Yeah.
But absolutely awesome. I think this is...
It's worth the price of admission, isn't it? It really is.
Which just the Dumble for me is worth is now worth the price of admission. That is probably what I'm going to be taking out live.
Yeah, and this is the man who has access to lots of lovely stuff and amps and all sorts of things. And if that's the one that's going to go out live, from my point of view as the engineer, It's going to make my life a lot easier.
It is. So anyway, really hope you guys got something out of the video. We'll leave all the details for the Quad Cortex and the Nano Cortex in the notes below with the whole sort of version 3 software and all that sort of stuff. As I said, really hope you guys got something out of this video. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe, click on the bell button, and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the studio. I'm Paul.
I'm James.
And we'll see you next time.